Hello, my name is Jacob Monk. Welcome to this little video that is about 4 racist religions. A racist religion is a religion that has as its core concept that only members of this religion is in the love of God. There are certain variations about how racism is integrated in the theology of religions. But these 4 religions I'm going to talk about now, they have it as a core concept. First, let's talk about Hinduism. Hinduism has the idea that you are reborn, reincarnated. If you act in a bad way in one life, you will be reborn on a lower level in the next life. If you act a very good way, you will be reborn on a higher level in your next life. That means when you are in India, there's a reason that they don't have any social services in India run by the Indian state. The reason is that when you are poor and sick and not well off in India, it is seen as the result of your former deeds. It's because you did something back in your previous lives. Maybe 1,000 years ago, you were a bird. As a bird, you were flying up in the heaven, and suddenly you hit another bird. Maybe you even killed the other bird. You killed it because you want to have something to eat. If you're an eagle, you eat other birds. Okay, but this is not good. You're killing other birds. That's a sin. Or maybe if you kill another bird and don't eat it, that means that you are killing other birds without even have your own personal reason to do it. That is an even bigger sin. Well, that's not my words. I'm trying to think like a Hindu believing in reincarnation. Because you did moral bad things when you were a bird, you are reborn on a lower level. Maybe as an ant or rat or something in your next life. Or maybe as a human being. But then you are born as a very poor human being, a sick human being, an unhappy human being. Because every time you do the right thing, you grow, become more powerful, more happy. Every time you do something bad, you are decreasing in the level of welfare and happiness. That is why, seen from a poor Hinduistic viewpoint, it's not a good thing to have social welfare in a country, because social welfare interacts with the will of God himself. And that is why I call Hinduism some kind of racist religion, because they see the people who are sick, not well off, poor, threatened by war and so on. They see them as people getting punished because of the bad things they have done. And because they're getting punished, you're not allowed to interfere with the fate of these people. Religion number 2 I consider racist is the Russian Orthodoxy. Why do I think this is a racist religion? Well, it's a basic concept in Russian Orthodox religion that you can only go to heaven if you are baptized. Only Christians can go to heaven. You can read that in New Testament, and it's a core concept in a lot of Christian religions. Not in the Roman Catholic religion, but in many Protestant religions and in all Orthodox variations of the Christian religion. In Russia, they have about half of the population as members of the Russian Orthodox Church. They have different branches and they do not agree about everything, but they all agree that if you come from another country, if you're Catholic, Protestant, coming from Germany, America, Denmark, Italy, France, and you want to go to communion in a Russian church, then you have to be rebaptized. Rebaptized. Rebaptism means that they do not accept the baptism you have already. They do not consider Catholics as Christian people. They do not consider Protestants as Christian people. And because only Christian people can go to heaven, that means that only the Russians can go to heaven. So in the Russian Orthodox Church, they believe that heaven is a part of Russia. Everyone speaks Russian in heaven, and it's so wonderful because they will never have to learn any other languages. Everything is like at home in Russia, even after death. Maybe you think this sounds real funny or very stupid. Well, I think the same myself, but nevertheless, this is the theology of the Russian Orthodox Church, the theology that only we members of the Russian Orthodox Church can go to heaven. That means heaven is a colony of Russia. Now we're coming to the Jewish religion. The Jewish religion is founded as a racist religion. You can read in the Old Testament, the same as the Torah, or in Talmud. You can read there that the Goys, that is the Jewish name for non-Jews, the Goys, they do not have the same value as the Jews. So if the Jews need a new kidney, he is allowed to kill a Goy, take the kidney out from the Goy and use it himself. If the Jew needs some employee, he can always kidnap and take a Goy, because a Goy has the same value as a monkey he can buy in a shop or find in a zoo. A Goy is not a real human being like the Jews, because God only loves the Jews. The Jews are God's chosen people, and all the rest, the Muslims, the Hindus, the Christians, they are just Goys. That means they are like animals. And therefore, every kind of crime committed by the Israeli state or committed by Jews during the last 2,500 years of history, every kind of sin is not something that God is interested in, and the Jews are not interested in. They forget it right away because it has no interest what you did against animals, and all non-Jews are like animals. That is not what I am saying, and it's probably not what your Jewish rabbi is saying if you ask him. And if you know some Jews, they'll probably say something else. But you have to read the Torah, the Old Testament, there you'll see it. And you have to read the Talmud, there you'll read it too, especially in the Babylonian Talmud. You can find a lot of quotes from the Babylonian Talmud on the internet, so you can find it yourself there. Well, the last religion I consider more or less racist is Islam. I know Islam claims to be against racism. They claims to be anti-racist. But the idea in Islam is that you can only go to heaven if you are Muslim. That means you have to convert everyone in this world to be a Muslim. And all the people dying like non-Muslims, they go to hell. That means it's no more a problem for you to threaten, to conquer with military means, to kill, to torture, to do everything to convert just one single person or maybe several persons, because you want to kill the whole, to convert the whole world. And as a Muslim, you believe that the goal you have has a higher value than the means you use to reach this goal. I would call that some kind of racism. a two-class racism. On the top you have the Islamic people, and of course Sunni Islam. They don't consider Shia Islam to be Islamic people. They are traitors, they go to hell. And probably Shia Islamic people, they don't believe that Sunni Islamic people are real Muslims. So internal in Islam there are certain fractions and discussion what is real Islam, what is not real Islam. But every Muslim agree that only Islamic people can go to heaven, and that is why also Islam is a racist religion. So here we go. There are 4 kinds of racist religion, and you have to consider in your own mind, are you for or are you against racism? Personally, I'm against. Thank you for listening.